let's start with the logistics here. Can you give us an update on the status of the SPAC?
Yes, it's progressing well. We're hopeful to be approved shortly and list the stock on a stock exchange under the ticker XXI. So these things take time. Obviously, we're dealing with the SEC, but I love the attitude of the new administration, and we're hopeful and excited.
Yeah, Jack, I wonder what is the plan once the SPAC is approved and starts trading as far as raising capital? You know, obviously, Michael Saylor and Strategy have been very creative, basically inventing their own sort of securities to sell and sort of lever up to buy Bitcoin. What is 21 Capital's strategy once it is up and running in the stock market?
To buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. We've been successful with convertible bonds to date. That's a fixed income market we'll look to continue to tap. We're excited to have our stock actually listed on a stock exchange, and we'll have an ATM program as well. And then there's a vast array of other options that we're very excited about, and we have an operating company. I think one of the main differentiators between 21 and some of the other businesses is that we plan to build lots of cash flow within the industry itself. I mean, Tether and I come with a vast amount of operating experience. We've built big cash flows within this industry. I mean, Tether specifically. And so I think we're going to be buying Bitcoin with cash flow. I think we're going to use convertible bonds. I think we're going to use the ATM and some other instruments that effectively we're a capital allocator. Take dollars and plug them into an asset that is pristine where capital can live safely.
You know, Jack, and obviously Strategy has become famous because by levering up that way with convertible bonds, you know, they're able to trade at quite a big premium to the market value of the Bitcoin that they actually hold. Is that sort of the ambition of 21 Capital as well? And, you know, are you worried about the Jim Chanoses of the world coming in and starting to short you because of that?
No, you know what? Listen, I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding here. Let's take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett, which we all adore as one of the greatest investors of all time, he would raise capital similarly. And his job was to allocate that capital efficiently in businesses. And so as long as he was performing, he was outperforming the dilution, then on a per share basis, he's accruing value to his shareholders. And so what these Bitcoin companies are innovating on is if you're able to take capital that historically is extremely risky. I mean, the dollar's the best performing currency in the history of, the last century, and it's lost 99.5% of its value. And so you have an asset that's bleeding value. And what Bitcoiners have realized is you can take dollars and plug it in risk-free to something that's outperforming everything else. Where Warren Buffett, there's execution risk there. Is he going to pick the right company? Is he going to pick the right investment? What's the long-term viability of these businesses? Is Coca-Cola still going to be valuable and people are going to be drinking it in 100 years? Bitcoin can last thousands of years. It's safe and there's no counterparty risk. And so the way I think about these businesses is we're efficient capital allocators where we're taking dead capital like a fiat currency that's being actively debased, and we're moving it over to an efficient place for shareholders. So then the way these businesses are going to be valued is what's the leadership team like? How are you valuing their ability to execute? And how are you valuing their ability to accrue capital and raise money? And that's where we think at 21, we are very confident in our ability to serve the capital markets because of our experience in this industry, because of SoftBank and Tether, the amount of capital backing us, the amount of capital already on our balance sheet, and what we've already done in this space over the last 15 years within Bitcoin. So that's how I view it. I think we're capital allocators like a Berkshire Hathaway, but maybe the digital version.
Well, Jack, as you mentioned, there's several of these businesses out there, these Bitcoin treasury companies, and it was around 5 years ago at this point that Michael Saylor really pioneered the model. We actually spoke to him on this program a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him whether he views companies such as yourselves as competition. His answer was no, pretty much. And I'm curious what the relationship looks like there. Do you guys have a group chat? Do you talk at all? What does that actually feel like?
No, the internet loves to try and pin me against Saylor, and the internet should know that we're friends. I actually just had dinner with him a few weeks ago in Prague. Yeah, I mean, listen, Bitcoin is not a winner-take-all market. We're talking about, there's about $900 trillion worth of stuff us humans own. Real estate, equities, currency, sovereign debt, art, collectibles, precious metals. About half of that we're using as a savings account. We've monetized these assets. So you don't own the $10 million art painting to hang on your wall so your toddler can throw spaghetti on it and ruin it. You own it because you think you can sell it in the future for more than $10 million. And so that means that, humans are trying to persist, save, and bring with them in the future about $400 to $500 trillion worth of wealth. That's what Bitcoin is going after. It's a better way for humans to create value for those around them and then take that value with them tomorrow. Okay. And so there's plenty of room for all of us to win. We're all on the same team. This is a tiny industry. So if it's a $500 trillion industry, it's $2 trillion today. I mean, Saylor and I have been on the same team. We'll continue to be on the same team. So I don't think it benefits anyone to pin each other, against each other. And I don't know. We enjoy stakes when we see each other, and we have good laughs, and we strategize.
All right, there you have it. Before we let you go, Jack, of course, we have an eye on DC today. And with that in mind, is there anything that you would like to see specifically when it comes to crypto legislation?
The Bitcoin Act.
Okay.
As an American, I would love to see Senator Lummis's bill pass. I think it's strategically important that we not only support this industry and this asset class, but we own it.
All right.
I think going back to our foundings as a country and how important we've been in the gold market, I think having 0 Bitcoin or a rounding error amount is a strategic mistake, and the country gets that. President Trump gets that, and I'd like to see that pass.